What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. Today I want to start a new video series I call Pro Team Comps Explained, where I take a team comp played by the pros and lay it out for you guys. Today's team composition is the Poke comp. This is a composition that excels at sieging and picking people off for massive poke, but loses hard to engages that can deny the poke opportunities. It revolves around the ability to poke people down, while avoiding engages to continually poke the enemy to either force them off of the tower, or force a 4v5 situation. It can be fairly hard to play against because of the immense kiting potential and massive, almost unavoidable, poke. Let's go over the picks and bans for this composition. Now this entire comp builds off of one champion, and that is Lux Mid. If you can't play Lux Mid for whatever reason, you need to play Lux Support. The reason for this is because of Lux's light binding. This snare is the key ability for the synergy of this entire composition. While sieging, your goal is to hit a binding on a squishy target and then have everyone unload everything onto that target hit to insta-give them to create a 4v5 situation. Nidalee Mid can also be used for a substitute, but is nowhere near as effective. For the top lane we play Jace, of course, for the massive poke damage. His EQ combo is incredible for sieging because it's very hard to dodge, can hit multiple people, and does amazing damage. In addition, his acceleration gate is a phenomenal disengage tool. Now remember that disengage is also a key part of this composition because it's very important to avoid engages. If you can't get Jace, you can play a tanky AP Nidalee top, but it really just won't be as good, just like with AP Nidalee mid. Down at the bot lane, we play Janna support with an AD carry that can poke at high ranges, meaning Varus, Graves, Caitlyn, or Ezreal. The Janna support is also a very key piece of this composition. So many engages can be avoided with a simple Janna ult and Shurelya's to run away, which you should be rushing on Janna by the way, and that fills up the crucial disengage for this comp. If you play a poke composition with no disengage, it's like having everyone on your team build glass cannon. It's so easy to catch out your team and just kill people because you have nothing to stop your opponents from simply just running in and starting a straight up fight, which this comp is poor at, resulting in a lost engage. The poke heavy AD carry is simply just needed for additional poke damage, while also remaining relatively safe due to the high range on their abilities. Note that champions like Miss Fortune will not work so well because her only high range poke is on her ultimate, which is unreliable, while champions like Sivir simply just get outclassed relative to the other AD carries. Now lastly, we play a jungler with ranged CC. Picks like Trundle, Sejuani, Cho'Gath, and Nautilus are amazing. You want someone that can follow up the Lux binding with additional crowd control to insta-give that target. It has to be someone that doesn't have to go into melee range to crowd control, because if they do, they could get kited and result in an engage by the enemy team, which is the one thing that you do not want. For the bans in this composition, you simply want to ban 3 champions that have hard initiates that cannot be stopped by a Janna ultimate that you're uncomfortable playing against. Champions like Zed, Malphite, Hecarim, Blitzcrank, Thresh, Amumu, Nautilus if you aren't playing him, Akali, Diana, Ahri, and Sejuani if you aren't playing her as well are great bans, just to name a few. There are more of course. Remember that the enemy team will still always have options for unpreventable hard initiate champions because you only have 3 bans. So you need to recognize when you have to disengage a teamfight that you cannot win, and then do so using the Janna's ultimate, Shurelya's, and Jace's acceleration gate. Now for some tips on playing this composition. Remember that the laning phase is fairly normal, so don't try anything too crazy. 2v1s can be an amazing idea to push down a tower fast or to avoid a bad matchup. Play the lanes normally with a focus on mid lane, because the entire composition does revolve around that Lux pick, so try to get her as fed as possible. Once it reaches the mid game, group up for towers. Have Lux try to hit a binding on someone, and if it is a squishy target, have everyone on your team unload everything, including ultimates onto them, and it should bring them down, even if they are a tanky target. That leaves you with a 4v5 situation that you can fight with or successfully take the tower. If Lux can't get a pick on someone, just keep poking and poking and poking. When the opponents get low enough, they should back off. Note that sieging inhibitor turrets is hard because the opponents can go heal and return quickly with home guard, despite your massive poke damage. So try taking all of the outer towers first before you go for the inhibitor turrets. If you get engaged upon, you need to either kite the fight back or disengage it entirely. The composition performs poorly in straight up fights, but you can still manage to win if you can kite your opponents hard enough. Defending sieges is even easier. Your team should have massive wave clear to be able to push back out and pick someone off. Just watch out for when you're pushing up so your opponents don't turn and engage on you. Now for countering poke compositions, you want to pick some of the champions mentioned earlier that the people playing the poke comp will ban. And since the laning phase is fairly standard, once the mid game starts, you need to use your hard initiate champions and hopefully hard initiate composition to begin a straight up fight before the poke comp has a chance to poke you down. It's vital to dodge the Lux bindings, but there isn't really much you can do other than wait for your team's ultimates to be up, and then just try to go in. If they disengage, you can back off too, because they likely won't be able to push up back again, unless your initiate was terrible and they all walked out with full HP for free. And watch out for Janna in teamfights as well, because she'll be able to kite your hard initiators very easily. It can actually be a good idea just to kill her first, because she will likely be much easier to catch out relative to the other enemy carries. Overall, this composition is all about trying to get a pick on the opposing team while poking them down and avoiding direct fights entirely. It's a fairly solid comp that is used in the pro scene every now and then, but is heavily countered by hard engage compositions. It's also fairly simple, meaning that you can easily play it in solo queue with some communication and leadership in champion select. So, that's it for this episode of Pro Team Comps Explained. I'd love it if you could support me with a like or some feedback in the comments, and I really need some feedback for this brand new series. And if you have any questions, I would absolutely love to see you in the comments too. Please subscribe for more awesome content in the future if you enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.